Ni howdy everyone, I am back. This is going to be another weightlifting video because that's essentially all that I do. We're going to talk about when life gives you tangerines and when you're struggling and how you should kind of approach different mindsets to bring you out of ruts. Now, I'm currently in one, but the nice thing about having a coach and having someone that you can kind of just lean upon when you're not feeling the best is just having someone to support you and remind you that you've came a long way. Yesterday was a pretty decent day. Like, it's not this training day that you're watching right now, but this is one of those training days where I don't perform the best and I get kind of down on myself. But yesterday was pretty decent. Little mishaps here and there, using certain muscles that I shouldn't be using and not leveraging the stronger muscles that I have, and just putting into perspective that yes, even if my body hurts, my technique needs to be good and I can't half-ass my technique if I want to progress, and eventually my body will adapt. So that was the biggest thing that I had to realize yesterday. Recently I got a little bit thinner just because I have to fit into the new weight class, so I'm losing a little more weight than usual. But one person asked me like, what's my secret? How did I do it? And honestly, just eating before 9, one, but two, also training the way that I train. I told her that the way that I trained is kind of ignoring survival instincts and really doing my best to fight those urges to be like, oh, I have to drop down really quickly. And that is what in turn gets you to cut your pull short. Other things happen where you're using more back than legs, and that's what I mean by like using muscles that I shouldn't. In that regard, like, I really try to, even if it hurts, do the best that I can and aim for perfect technique. And if it doesn't go up, it doesn't go up, and then we figure out how to fix it. But a lot of the times it's more mental than it is physical, and I feel like I've been kind of failing in terms of not really pushing my mental and feeling a little too much. So that's kind of just where that whole tangent went off on. Here is essentially like this training day is where I focus on just being what I can be, doing what I can. Platform snatches are very challenging because one, your pull is going to be a lot longer because you're on a deficit, and then your drop down time is going to be a lot shorter because you're on a platform. So we're really trying to focus on getting our movements correct, really making sure that I extend to the best of my ability, that I'm really leading with my chest, and that I'm utilizing my legs at the start of the deficit. And then once I get it up, proudly extended, and at that moment where the weight is weightless, I'm able to drop down and really catch in an aggressive position. So we're doing our best to do our best. And the biggest topic that I wanted to talk to you about, where a lot of people do get discouraged with weightlifting and in life in general, is just you got to compare it. And comparison is the thief of joy. But in this case, I feel like if you compare yourself to your previous self, you're going to come out with better outcomes rather than doubt and self-wallowing and just feeling like shit. So struggling is going to be okay. That means you're testing yourself. That means you are really pushing yourself to a limit that you might have. It might be mental, it might be physical, it might be emotional. Guys, I've been watching fucking When Life Gives You Tangerines, and that shit hurt me. Like, the first few episodes gave me PTSD because I was that guy. I was like, I will love you. And then in the movie or in the TV show, girl's kind of like hesitant, and she's like, I don't know if I want you, and then she's like left with no options, and then he's like, I've loved you ever. Sorry, I don't want to give it away, but I was that guy. And so that helped me kind of get to an emotional point where I'm doing my best, and it doesn't really matter what outcome is what, because I should be okay. I'm not going to say I am going to be okay, but I should be okay in terms of where the fuck life brings me. And that relates to weightlifting as well, because I am trying my best. Shit sucks. I'm not fully completing every day 100% like I want to, but we're getting the weights up. We're focusing on changes of technique. We're trying to get stronger. We're working on our smaller muscles. Like, all these things will factor into the big day on stage, which is a competition for me. It might be a competition for you, or just health in general. Now, I remember my ex being like, oh, my knees hurt, this hurts. And then she would see like physio and do some other things, but then it still wouldn't get better. So I hope she's okay. I hope her knees are fine. But other than that, it's like for myself, my recovery routine is going to be a lot of stretching at the end. It's going to be weekly, maybe even like bi-weekly or tri-weekly massages just to get my body kind of in fighting shape so I don't die. And if I do die, it means I tried really hard. So there's always a plus side. There's always a plus side to destroying your body emotionally, physically, and mentally, because at the end of the day, after you slay your dragon, which is doing whatever you need to do, you're going to have an amazing story to tell after that. I just have to be very mindful that I am creating a very unique and fun story. When you are having bad days and struggling and comparing to where you started, that hopefully should bring you in a decent trajectory to be like, I was so much better than what I was 3 weeks ago. I was so much better than when I was a couple days ago. I was better than I was yesterday. That's one thing that really keeps me grounded and focused on how to become better than I am at this current point. But also it's hard because when you think about days that you were succeeding and were thriving and you're like actually killing it and going for max attempts and just being absolutely a monster, you get into a mindset where it's like, why can't I be like that all the time? Why can't I be like that 80% of the time? And going back to the rule of thirds, like a third of the time you're gonna suck, a third of the time you're gonna be amazing, and a third of the time you're gonna be okay. It's just the rule of thirds. You got to keep your mind very humble and grounded to know that if it's a bad day, it's a bad day. But you are progressing further than what you were maybe 4 months ago. You were progressing 2 days ago. It's you just got to trust the process. And having a coach is definitely something that can keep you very grounded and very humble. And so that was kind of like the biggest thing for me. I'm very negative in my own thoughts. I tell myself that I'm shit. I tell myself that I'm not strong. I tell myself that if I tried a lot harder, things would work out differently. And then I kind of discredit the fact that I am trying really hard, or I discredit the fact that I did my best, or it's like a very fine line between I hate myself and I am the best. That's the two mentalities that you kind of have to balance when you are doing anything in life, or if you go in with the confidence, you also have to be very humble to be sat down and told that you didn't do a good job. And you just got to take all of those as lessons to know that there's always something to improve on. There's always something to build upon. And also that if you are doing a really great job, you got to own that and celebrate all the small victories, because it is what it is. You just got to keep trying. So even when life is hard, you just got to follow your heart. And sometimes your heart is going to tell you you love something undoubtedly. Other times it's going to tell you you should protect yourself. And, you know, sometimes I feel like there's a survivor theory where people that got lucky off of Bitcoin, if you did get on Bitcoin a couple of years ago, you're like a millionaire now. And there are so many things with crypto where it's like you lose money, and some people that do come out with a shitload of money, they're like, oh, I just invest in crypto. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to invest in crypto too. But it's kind of the survivor bias where if one person does it, you discredit all of the other people that lost their entire life savings. And like sometimes you just got to follow your heart. The people that did succeed in crypto followed their heart, and the people that did not and lost everything followed the trend. So honestly, if you just follow your heart and know that you can do it, and know that you're able to do it, and not be too worried about the risk, then like it is what it is. Follow your heart, and then you'll come out with lessons, or you'll come out with winning, right? And the price of winning varies every day. This is one Instagram video. I follow a lot of very motivational videos on Instagram and YouTube, but there's one Instagram video where it's like winning, the price of winning changes every day. And you don't know what that price is until you actually get to the first step. I have 1,000 stairs that I need to do today, or I have 4 stairs that I need to do today. Sometimes you win real easy, and sometimes it's just by the skin of your teeth, and sometimes you don't even win at all. right? And that's just the consequence of trying to become better each day. So these are huge things that you kind of just have to be mindful of, and just build your pain tolerance, your mental tolerance, and also your emotional tolerance. Like I'm trying my best to finish When Life Gives You Tangerines ASAP so I can fix my emotional state. I feel like it's helping quite a bit. My friend told me to fucking touch grass, and I'm going to once I finish the series and once I finish editing all this shit. But I'm gonna try to build my emotional tolerance just by watching really fucked up shit that makes me sad. And hopefully by the end of this series and a couple other series before I start school, my emotional tolerance is gonna be fucking hella high, matching my pain tolerance. We're gonna build on our mental tolerance while we're at school. So it is going to be a grind, but you got to put yourself in hard positions. You got to be okay with struggling, and you got to know that struggling is all part of the process. That being said, everyone needs to be comfortable with not being comfortable. I didn't get that. And if that is going to be your comfort zone, I feel like you're in a very good place. If you want to progress with all of your gains and life goals, check out Get Raw Nutrition. I like their stuff. Until they get the banned substance free label, I can't take it within competitions. But when I am out of season or just have like a 5-month before competition period, I will take these amazing pre-workouts because they give me the heebie-jeebies, and they're actually quite tasty. So if you want to check them out, check out the link down in my description. Use CreAndrew10 if you want to get anything. You'll save 10% off, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in the next one.